Roxy was just here and then she left. Let's see. Just waiting on my co-host. There she is. Hello.
I was having technical difficulties.
You were having sexual difficulties? Oh.
Never a day in my whole life.
Spun it back on me. All right, I'm just waiting on you to join YouTube.
Yeah, I saw the request. I just wanted to take a long time before I went on YouTube. Guys, smoke them while you got them.
Smoke them while you got them. I haven't smoked all day, and it's kind of interesting. I only went off on one person today. Never mind. So I think I still land in the fairway of doing good without the greenery in my system.
You know what I was thinking about is that when you said that, I think I go off on at least one person every single day.
I don't know. Are you bragging or complaining?
Complaining. I think it's Facebook.
No. And see, what had happened was, time to put somebody on blast. So, I wake up to a DM, or go to sleep to a DM from somebody who says he's Afroman's, who we're going to talk about on the show, who runs Afroman's social pages. And the last week or so, I've been going back and forth with a woman who I recorded when I went to go see Afroman in January here in LA at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And Afroman was signing fans' titties while he was performing, right? So he has a song that's like, let me sign them titties. So he's signing the titties, and I got like some cool footage of him signing the girls' boobs. And I put my logo there, and I put thickness protection program logo. Boom, I posted, right? So it's been several months since then, but this woman contacts me through WhatsApp, and and says, hey, can I get a copy of the footage? I'm like, yeah, for sure. What's your name? Doesn't respond. But she's begging and pleading to get the video, so I send it to her through WhatsApp. Then she's like, I don't know, the quality about this is not so good. They compress it. Can you send it through Telegram? I'm like, I don't even use Telegram.
You're like, this seems really scammy.
So it seems really scammy. So I leave the girl on red, and she continues to blow me up, 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 blow me up. She's spamming my DM from AM to PM. So at this point, you still got to join YouTube, by the way. So at this point,
I'll go on now.
I'm like, what is going on with her? But circle back, as much as I got going on in my personal life and in my content life and my professional life, finally, here she is. There we are. There we are in two places. Hello.
Is it you or me that's doing that? It was you.
That's probably me. But can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So, as I was saying, yeah. So anyway, finally I touched bases with her today and say, hey, I was contacted by Afroman's social media team. They want to post the video. Do you want to... I can send you the files. And then I'm getting blown up by her and Afroman's team. At this point, I'm just like so stressed out because they keep hitting me, and I feel like I'm working for these people and working for what, And then she said, oh, Afroman signed my friend's titties too. And then I looked through my phone, I'm like, I have 3 videos of Afroman signing women's boobs. So finally I send her everything, but she's like, is it in 4K? And then the guy from Afroman's team is like, okay, we really want to post this and we want to tag her, but we need her consent. And it's not in 4K, it's in 1080p, and then she's appearing to be this video quality snob. So yeah, basically somebody who I don't even know, who I recorded at a concert, is like
wants free promo, and it isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Momo, whatever your name is. I'm sorry, buddy. This is Beatbox. This is Foxy and I show. Not tonight. Any other
catch
night.
us when we're chilling.
Yeah, catch us when we're chilling.
Business.
Exactly. But anyway, enough about random strangers stressing me over videos of their boobs getting signed. Welcome to Beatbox, episode 9. It's your boy Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, and your favorite rapper still owes me money. Moving and grooving on the go today, dealing with a lot of family issues. But hey, I'm still here for the show, and I have my lovely co-host.
Hey, I'm Foxy Box, your favorite person to watch online. I don't know. We'll try that.
All right. We got a great
Foxy,
show.
The person that makes your jeans tight. Let's go.
So, we got a great show today. Foxy, you want to kick it off with tonight's mental health topic?
Yeah, our friend over on Insta says, I know how to beatbox. So what's up, guys? We're going to start like we start every week with our mental health check-in. I think that this might be everybody's favorite part. So every week when I'm like thinking about what I want to talk about, I'm always like, okay, what am I struggling with? But then I ask like the people like that I'm around, like, hey, you know, if you were to hear something on a podcast that like made you feel better about something going on with your life, like what would you want to hear somebody talking about? So this week, 2 people that are close to me brought up the topic of taking days off when you work, and like just that is something that goes directly into mental health and self-care, because if you're working and working and working and you're not taking any time for yourself, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's like that age-old saying. And so I think that as like social media personalities, influencers, spicy content creators, you know, you name it, we're all doing a lot, like all the time. We're definitely working, and the internet doesn't close. And I think that it's really hard for those of us in this position to come, you know, when you clock into like a vanilla job, as I call them, you're clocking in with the intention that you're doing your 8 hours and you're going home. You shut that off. But when your phone is your work, you're never shutting it off. And I've noticed that there's a lot of times where I won't even sleep well if I have my phone anywhere where my brain can think about it. My brain is thinking about my phone. Do you ever deal with that, Dylan?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just think like it's like you're on a timer to check your to physically reach in your pocket and check like every single time. Like
Kirk doesn't like me. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that.
Kirk, we don't give a fuck. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
back
anyway,
to the left right hand. Yeah, sometimes you just feel glued to your phone at times that you shouldn't. And like, you know, when does it in any job, it is good, it is important to have work-life balance, especially as a content creator when you are calling all the shots. So I've seen people post like, "Hey, I'm not online today," or "I'm away from my phone for these hours." And like, you know, even the situation with me where I have, you know, 2 people demanding content from me and I'm like working, you know, a different job. I'm working a customer service job and I'm supposed to be away from this. Is like you got to be very clear about separating and making time for yourself and not trying to please an audience or not always focus on deadlines. Like if Sunday is your day of rest and relaxation, keep it to that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people they don't give themselves that time off, and what I'm trying to start with my career is I am trying to separate my life from my job, and when they coincide so much, it's really hard a lot of times. But what I decided, and I've gone into this week and I'm going to just have as my habit, is I'm going to say I'm working 40 hours a week by expanding energy. And that could be any type of work that I'm doing, but I need to be either using my time to grow my business and my brand, or I need to use my other time to do my online interactions or live streams on like Chatterbait or Streammate, those places. And so once that 40 hours is up, that's up because that's how much time I should be putting in to begin with. If I'm putting in on average on my phone 84 hours a week, and I'm not making 84 hours worth of money, it's time that I'm fucking wasting. So we have to take that time off. So I'm promising myself 40 hours a week, and that's where it ends. And I always take Thursdays off unless I have something really important going on. So that's always my set day. So I think that that's something that a lot of content creators should kind of remind themselves is that we're not punching into a time clock and you're abusing your own time. It's like if a boss is taking advantage of you.
No, I agree. I agree. So you just gotta like be you when you are your own boss, you also have to be in charge of giving yourself your own breaks, giving yourself your own holidays, giving yourself your own mental health resources.
Right. Absolutely. So the gist of mental health check-in this week, take your time off, take care of yourself because your work is going to suffer. If you're having a bad day, you don't want to work and you get online. If you're in the business that I'm in, it's personality based. Of course, looks help, but if your personality is lacking that day, your money's going to show that. So use that time to rest.
That's a fact. Now,
Off.
let's kick it off with some hip hop news. The man we were just speaking of, Afroman and Young Buck. I did not know they had tension, but evidently last month at the end of June, June 25th, they got into a bar scuffle at a show in Virginia.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it turned physical between the two camps. And uh, Young Buck arrested? I don't have any access to the story in front of me.
Yes, I think he must have,
Yeah,
either I'm not sure, it was kind of inconspicuous because the title said that he pleads not guilty, but it didn't actually talk about court. I think it was more in the sense of, like, a public courtroom, so I don't know if they didn't get, like, the law involved just because, like, if you can handle it, why? But basically, I think it was more of a, like, hey man, you need to get your shit together thing. Like all the Afro man had really commented was like, hey man, like we're cool or whatever, but like you need to get your drugs and alcohol like in fucking line, basically.
right.
Um, I
It
hadn't
sounded
heard
like
about Young
Afroman
Buck
took
forever.
Yeah, Afroman took the higher road, and then Young Buck, I think last year or maybe the year before that, I was watching a few interviews he did on Vlad TV, and there was that whole kind of scandal with somebody sexting him pictures, and then he got on a video, and then he like jerked it, and then there was that whole like viral scandal with Young Buck, jerking it to some video that turned out to be a catfish. So if that's the last thing I'm hearing from you, and it's not about new music or not about a new tour, or you're starting a podcast or some new line of business, that's bad. That's bad. Like Young Buck's in trouble.
Yeah, he's not doing very well for himself if it's all the drama that's the headlines. Young Buck, wasn't he like with like G Unit?
Yep, he was a part of G Unit
What
from
I
Nashville,
thought.
so he used to run with 50 Cent, Tony Ayo, and Lloyd Banks.
I think I always liked Tony Yayo best, but I can't really remember much of G Unit.
I remember all of G Unit. I really enjoyed a lot of their music.
Yeah, I really like 50 Cent a lot. You know, it seems like he comes
Right.
up a lot in our show.
Well, he's a powerful man, no pun intended. But
And he's funny. He's fucking funny. I love funny people. Also in the news, Lil
right.
Nas X was hit on stage at Lollapalooza with a pocket pussy. So that's some funny shit. There has been this trend going on, and I don't know why, but also like I'm kind of like liking what I'm seeing with like the feeling of the working class kind of uprising against like rich people. It seems like kind of people are done. But I don't understand like why these people are paying to go to shows to just like peg somebody on stage with something. It started with cell phones, is what it started happening, and then who was it? Is it Demi Lovato that like got her face like fucked up a
I
couple
think
weeks
that's been
ago?
going on. That's been going on for a while. I mean, I remember over 10 years ago when Odd Future was playing a show in Detroit, and somebody started throwing bottles, and I think one of them hit Sid, and she's like, "I'm done performing." Um,
Well, do you
So,
remember the story about Tila Tequila for some reason being at the
yep,
Juggalo
that was at
gathering?
the gathering of the Juggalos, yeah, and people have thrown things at Kid Cudi too, like,
Well, it's like I know that's always happened, but there is like a specific like a thing going on right now where people are deliberately doing it at most like big
yeah.
shows.
I
Is
mean,
there
I find it very ironic that, like, Lil Nas X gets hit with a pocket pussy, and he's such
I
a
know,
symbol of, a sex symbol for the LGBTQ community.
dude, and I don't know about you, but I've handled some pocket pussies in my life. Because I've worked in adult stores and those things are fucking like wobbly and just
Yeah.
like can you imagine getting
Wobble, wobble,
smacked with
wobble,
one
wobble.
just
I've actually never touched one. I'm curious because,
you've
like,
never touched a pot. You know, I get a lot
no.
of them free toys from the Chinese sellers. I'll send
Is that right,
you
huh?
can get some foxy mail.
No, I mean, I know some protectors have some pocket pussies that, have kinda like, "Hmm,
Yeah,
maybe,
I think it's cool how people get
support a protector out here."
they get the girls they get the pussy dupes done and then they sell their own and I definitely that's goals.
Do you
That's
know where
my
Lil Nas
goals.
X was performing when he got hit?
What he was performing like what
Do you know
song?
where? No, do you know
Oh
the
yeah,
city or the
Lollapalooza.
festival? Lollapalooza, huh.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the end of that story. It's just kind of goofy to think of
Uh,
Lil Nas X get out of everybody. He's like the sweetest one too, but like obviously he's gonna handle something like that a lot better than other people. I think he pretty much just laughed it off. So
well, moving on to news stories, Lil Wayne made an appearance on Tony Hawk's podcast called, "Do You Skate?" And I think from the few minutes I caught of it, do I think that was a great episode, and I think that was really great for the culture to, have the hip hop side and the skateboarding side, which have always gone hand in hand, and to have kind of these moguls who I've grown up with, and to kind of witness Lil Wayne's maturity, to
yeah.
um, find that how versatile he is and how, like, he's been talked about, been being a skater for over 10 years. So
Right.
I definitely, I think that plays into the art of podcasting, which have like a host and a guest who have a really good contrast from one another. But it turns into this really interesting conversation. So I definitely want to finish that whole episode.
Yeah, I would like to check it out too. We'll put it all over on the podcast playlist, which you can find in my bio. The link is there. You can actually play it from my link tree. So,
There you
pro
go.
tip. And then we're going to be making something so that it's pretty easily accessible to you guys. But we'll go ahead and add that interview on there when we're done.
For
It's really,
sure.
really great. I've always loved that bridge between the skateboard community and like the hip hop community. It was always maybe like a big reason why skateboarding always was a thing that I fucking really was drawn to. And I think that that's a big part of it was the music. So,
Yes, exactly. Big time. And Tony Hawk's video games, obviously, I talk about this almost every podcast. And
yeah.
Tony Hawk's video games played a big role into that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Same with me. I guess I just had an ear for music that was good from the start. So
Right. Well, speaking of nostalgia, you want to kick it off for hip hop history?
yeah, so I just wanted to mention this week. It comes out on July 7th, but Coolio's album posthumously is being put out as basically like a tribute album for his works and everything. So it's called Long Live Coolio. It's out July 7th. Speaking of just having an ear for good music from a young age, I fucking loved Coolio. Like, always loved Coolio. And I don't think like his music got enough play. He became kind of almost gimmicky, but if you really like dig into what he's done, he's such a solid artist. And his death really, it made me sad because Julio has just been such a staple. And he's so humble. He was so humble. And I just, what a loss. So
Yes.
definitely check that
Tragic.
one out. If all you guys know is, the key, Gangster's Paradise and
Gangster's Paradise and the Keenan and Kel theme song.
hip hop, Fantastic Voyage is what I
Yeah.
was thinking. If those are the only songs like they're great, but like definitely check out this new album that comes out because I'm sure it'll have a really good showcase of all of the key pieces that really made Coolio such a great artist. So Rest in peace, Coolio. Shout out to his wonderful wife. She posts a lot about him on social media, which is really nice for us. That loved his music because we're able to still kind of see in his life. Free Range Meow Meow brought up Dangerous Minds. Do you remember when that movie came out and the theme song, the big song for the movie was Coolio's song where he had like the music video with, is it fucking Michelle Pfeiffer? I can't remember,
Sky
but
Pfeiffer.
I
Well, I
was
don't remember Dangerous Minds, but I for sure remember Keenan and Kel, of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
me
Well,
too.
rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah,
This week also Kendrick Lamar's sophomore project, Section 80, came out in 2012. Yeah, 2000,
2011.
2011. Wow, yeah. Section 80 did a lot for me. You know, that was my first exposure to Kendrick Lamar. There were so many gems on that project. So, you know, and being aware of TDE at first, then, but like not really knowing what K Dot could do, and that's when I really like learned what he could do because he had already performed at Hampton U when I was a student there at that point. So I think you know Section 80 was like the first like boom like to like really know what he was all about. Go ahead.
My screensaver didn't change.
Oh,
So there's a big ol'
I'm echoing.
yeah. Okay. So anyway, yes, I remember
Turn this
when
down.
Kendrick Lamar, when I first heard him, was in 2011, and this was back when I still had cable, and it was Music Choice. I don't know if you ever listened to like the Music Choice channels that would just play music, but Swimming Pools came on it, and I like yelled for my ex to come in the room. I was like, "Oh, come here! This shit is so good." And like it became like a thing. We'd stand around waiting on the Music Choice and be like, "Oh, we're gonna hear Swimming Pools." Yeah, no, it was really good though. Somebody said you're echoing, Dylan.
Yeah, Destiny said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let me try to just. I don't know what I can do, but let's try this on mute. Can Instagram tell me if you can hear me? I'm still on YouTube here, but um, as I was saying before, you know what I mean. Yeah, Section 80 is a classic. Gotta love that one. I want to move on though to my album of the week,
Yeah.
which is Currency and Harry Fraud, Vices. This project is really dope. I don't really expect anything less. I mean, Harry Fraud is an incredible producer. Currency is, you know, an incredible rapper. And, you know, I love Lil Wayne, but Currency has kind of made more of a difference in my life personally. And you know, their careers intertwined at one point with Currency being signed to Young Money. But yeah, this new project, you know, they have a lot of like 80s samples, and you know, anytime Currency links with Harry Fraud, it's kind of like they do this. Miami, it's just like a Miami Vice, like you know, speedboat type of thing. You know, when they do their project, cigarette boats, and it's all about you know this like port type of vibe. You know, this port gangster movie vibe, and yeah, I like the song they got on there with Jim Jones. That's fire. Um, I like that trap beat. It kind of sounds like a Memphis beat on there.
So since
But
I had very little time tonight, I didn't take as great a notes as I like, but I put three songs from Vices on the playlist, and the first one that I listened to, I can't remember what it's called, but it sampled "One Night in Bangkok," and I was like, I know that song, I know that song, and
hey Milan,
I'm listening, and I was like, oh shit, that's totally what it's sampling, and they did such a perfect job. I 10 out of 10 album from every I listened to about four different tracks. It was a perfectly executed 80s hip hop like fusion. Um,
right?
I fucking loved it. I mean, like I told you when we were discussing what we were going to talk about, it caught my eye when I saw the cover for obvious reasons. Because that's the vibe, you know, that's what I like. But I'm glad that we listened to this one. You guys definitely check out Vice's Harry Fraud. Who is Harry Fraud?
Harry Fraud is a producer out of New York City who's worked with a smattering list of rappers. I remember him kind of coming onto the scene around 2012 or so. He had worked closely with Action Bronson. He had worked with Wiz Khalifa. He worked with Juicy J. Leading up to, you know, nowadays in 2020, he did a great tape with Larry June called "Keep Going." He's done two full length projects with Jay Worthy that are both excellent. So Harry Fraud is definitely, he's worked with Lil Peep. He's worked as well as many members of Griselda. So as far as somebody who's, you know, very versatile, but, you know, still kind of keeps it true to East Coast hip hop, he's really really dope, really dope,
Yeah,
and he has a lot of projects with Currency.
you had mentioned Jay Worthy, who we reviewed before. So, also
Right.
some music from Jay Worthy on the playlist. I love that.
Yes.
Love that. Our playlist, you guys, is almost at 100 tracks that we've talked about
It's a lot of
in
music
9 weeks. That's
from
fucking
Beatbox.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So my album of the week that I chose, I just randomly, so guys, how I basically do this is I look at the listing every single week on Mondays of what's come out or what is coming out over the previous week or the upcoming week and whatever I have access to. So I checked, and this week I chose an album called I Don't Know by BDRMM, which I assume is Bedroom. It was such a treat to dive into this one. I really super enjoyed it. It was like that from the beginning. I listened to the first song. It was called Pulling Stitches. And it was that like lazy prog rock, like indie feel as soon as like it started, which drew me in immediately. But then I noticed that they were what I assume they were very influenced by like that new metal kind of sound, but they wanted to bring like indie. It's almost like indie new metal.
I'm
And
really curious about this album now.
oh, you guys are gonna love it. You're definitely gonna like it. I think as soon as you turn on the album, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, this is a vibe." Because it was like Deftones meets like MGMT on Pulling Stitches,
Ooh.
and I was like, "This is interesting." So then the next song that I listened to was called "Be Careful," and it had like that dreamy indie guitar, like Modest Mouse, and it was just like definitely like that indie, like uh just jam band feel, but like not like
Yeah.
the hippie shit, like the Modest Mouse shit. Um, but I really enjoyed Be Careful. I was really glad that I checked them out. The main lyric that I kept repeating was "Be careful of yourself." Through that track is very deep. You know, more that meets the eye. The other one that I put on there is, I guess that's all that I put on there.
And
Or I
Foxy,
forgot to
before we
put.
forget, can you can you comment on Instagram what this band is called and what the album's called?
Yeah, so it's called Bedroom, BDRMM. I'm guessing that's what it is, and it's called I Don't Know. So check that out. Every week I'll put 3 tracks from each of the albums that we're talking about, and we put our song of the week on there. So there's 3 tracks from that. So treat yourself. Let's hear about your song of the week.
Got it. So my song of the week was "Misunderstood" by O3 Greedo and Big Sad 1900. If you are really into the you know, LA rap scene, really really tapped in with the streets, you know, O3 Greedo has been home from prison. He got out this year. He's out of Watts, California. Big Sad 1900 is out of La Cienega Heights. So you got two guys from different neighborhoods, from different sets, but it is such a banger. I love that Cash Page sample. I didn't even realize that was Cash Page on the sample, and I would had to look it up. But I love that song, man. It's just like it's just this 5 minutes of just it's like clean, but it's still ratchet at the same time. It's just like a
Totally.
smooth. It's just like a smooth song with that good sample in the background, and it almost reminds me of "Can I Live" by Casey Veggies and Mac Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, which is, you know, it's an old cut, but I just love that high pitched sample. Some great production on that is just really, you know, a street vibe, but it's just super chill too.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed that it felt like it could have been like plucked right out of 2004, put on the radio at every house party that I went to at that time frame. But it was like so finely produced. It was like
Yeah,
It was really nice.
I know
So
why you're saying 2004 because old Kanye West production, like, slow jams and overnight celebrity, kind of had that high pitched hamster voice too.
yeah, it definitely felt very like early high school music that I would listen to. And and
You're
for me, I
showing
think
your age.
I know. Ugh. But hey, I think that's the beauty is that I'm almost 34 and I'm all right.
All
So
right.
the nice thing also that I wrote is Dylan never misses because you don't. You don't ever fucking miss.
Mm.
You don't ever leave me astray. Anytime that you say that this is gonna be your album of the week, your song of the week, you're putting me on to new shit, dude. And I fucking love that. I rock with you. That like honestly, like you guys gotta check out the playlist. It's really fucking good, and it's so diverse. We've got Jelly Roll, we've got fucking Slipknot, right? We have Slipknot,
It just really shows how eclectic our personalities are.
definitely. um,
And what's your
and
song of the week, Foxy?
my song of the week is another random that I found off of the. By doing this, I'm trying to like introduce myself to not only stuff that I know, but stuff that I don't. So this chick, Acid Girl, GVRL is how she spells it. The new song that I listened to is called "All Up in Her Throat," and I figured since I throat dildos for a living, it was perfect choice. So Acid Girl is very interesting in what she does. It's very like confusing, slutty video game music. Like
Yeah.
I'm
It
just like,
reminded me
okay,
almost of this Jersey club house party. It's like going to this sex party, off campus somewhere,
there's
and
some chick
you don't
like
know what.
all rolling balls on the fucking microphone with
Yeah,
bunny ears and Skechers. I don't know.
yeah.
It's fucking it's weird
Or it
shit.
could be like, peak pandemic, and you're sitting on your video conference app of choice with all these e-girls, and then you're just whipping your thing out, and who knows who's gonna take you into a private chat.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting. It's very of the times.
I
Check it
love
out.
how we have different views on it, different angles. One as a worker, and then one as a guy.
Yeah, I just like it for, the slutty aspect of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I said
that's
it's a
why I
very
picked
cute
it.
hoe song.
Yeah. I was like all up in her throat. Okay, I gotta listen to that.
All right.
Um,
And
so
speaking
yeah,
of
Acid
Foxy,
Girl.
why don't you lead us out with your Swerker tip of the day?
Oh, wait. I know. Oh, it's so you guys know we're cutting things short tonight. I think you've probably caught the vibe. Got a lot going on. Also the little Uzi Vert pink tape.
Oh, Pink Tape. Yeah.
So, you guys, I'd never listened to Little Uzi Vert. We've talked about this on the pod
What?
before.
Yep.
That was your reaction last time I told you that. I was like, all I know is the meme that's like, and for you, Little Uzi, post a fucking Slipknot poster. I don't remember what it says. That's all that I ever heard. That's it. So I listened to Pink Tape, and I was like, this is exactly what I expected. It's good music for kids these days.
Yeah.
Um,
As a person who is now 30 years old, I feel wrong commenting anything negative about it. So I just want to say it's good energy. Uh it is not something you seek when you are seeking substance. But rock on, man. Like years ago I wish some like crazy turned up black punk rocker, you know, who could be super versatile came out, around
right.
a certain time, but yeah, I'm
I'm
just a little past it.
happy for the kids these days. They got their little Uzi.
Yeah.
Um,
And yes, Kirk, I am only 30.
little baby Palmy. Um, so
I need a little clip of that. I need a little clip of that.
little
Little baby.
baby Palmy with like your face right
Oh,
here. Oh, um,
oh my god. Don't make.
you got okay. All right. Anyway, pink tape. Flooded the face was the first one that I listened to that I wrote was what I expected. Great music for kids. Endless Fashion with Nicki Minaj. I had actually heard the song on TikTok in the past couple of days, but she's got the line that she says, "I got a Republican doctor make my ass great again, MAGA." But all of the shithead Republicans on TikTok are like, with like their Trump flags and their fucking white trash fucking cutoffs. Anyway, so yeah, that's a thing. Thanks for doing that, Nicki Minaj. And Werewolf with Bring Me the Horizon. Fuck, it sounded like Linkin Park.
I can't wait to hear that one. I didn't get that far ahead in that
It's on the
album because I'm like,
playlist.
this is over and yeah, this is over an hour's worth of music. So I'm like, sheesh.
Yeah. I saw in the comments, one of my friends that also has a podcast where he talks music, we made friends on TikTok. He had commented, damn it, that we were doing a short episode when he finally caught us live. But he's really fun to talk music with. You guys should definitely follow each other. But
We got to get him on one of these days then.
I noticed him because he had posted like a TikTok and it was like to Stitch or whatever, and he was asking something like, what song would get canceled now, or like, and I just immediately was like, I think it was a Styles P song that has a very not happy slur in it that's repeated throughout, and I was like, oh shit. So I commented and it was like friendship from there. It was like us. So I love that shit.
That's a good question for next time.
Yeah, honestly, like maybe we should have like some kind of like a roundtable conversation once in a while with our commenters. Yeah. He said, "Let's just say when."
Yeah, shout out to Starting Five podcast.
Absolutely, we love. So I can't think of anything that we missed, and I can't believe. Oh my god! How do I always forget the sex work tip? Let's fuck you guys. It's messed up. So my sex work tip of the week is not giving into the pressures to be affordable. Okay, listen. Yes, we're in a recession, but your time is a luxury, girls and boys, theys and thems. You cannot fucking waver on your hubris in that way. Like, this is what you're offering. You're giving a part of yourself to your clients, and if they don't want to pay for the luxury of your time, move on, because it's better to not expand the energy bartering with somebody on your own fucking set prices that you're giving your emotion, your body, your mind, and your soul to. This is some really deep work. The privilege of having a client and provider relationship is that exactly, it's a privilege. And if you can't afford for that specific provider, you should not make them feel bad about it. And that goes, for the clients and people that are potentially wanting to have a provider in their life. Don't disrespect people. Like, it's an art. We are already trying to be mindful of what people can afford when we price things, but we also have to protect ourselves. So, just the tip of the week, don't give in. Like, we're in a recession, but that doesn't matter. This is the oldest profession in the whole entire history of anything. And it has been a profession through every stage of humanity. And this isn't going to be the last. So, talk to other sex workers and find out what they're charging. Because through my networking and making friends with a lot of ladies, I found that they were undercharging for a lot of things. And it's nice to have that conversation with your community because everybody gets on the same page, and then we don't get badgered. Oh, so and so is so much cheaper. Do you want to be known as the cheap? Do you want to be great value, or do you want to be fucking Lil Debbie? Okay,
right. And just because being cheap does not make you be better. And as a man who is not in this, I should probably keep my mouth shut for any opinion or any suggestions. Although the other day on live, if you want to go back a couple more posts on the Thickness Protection Program page on my Instagram, we did have a very interesting conversation when a creator who is a male, who runs a page that salutes BBWs and edits videos to uplift and glamorize BBWs, boldly stated he does not pay for pornography. And there were two creators on that live who definitely felt some type of way about that, and even I had to say
I don't allow people like that into my life. I'm sorry, but I don't need your promotion. Love the message, but that doesn't mean that you get to fucking shop a la carte. That's fucking bullshit.
Exactly. And hey, you know what? Many years ago there were things that, I wouldn't understand. Why would someone pay for pornography when it's free on the internet? But when we're not just talking about paying for pornography, we're talking about supporting creators. If you are repeatedly searching the same creator, or creators, you want exclusive content with them, and you want to keep them employed so you can keep seeing more.
Well, and not only
Yeah.
that, but it's the action, it's almost like a romanticism behind like actually creating a bond with your preferred sexy person to watch. Like,
Right.
you know, you can watch the stuff and that's what's on the shelves, but when you work with a lady to build your fantasy, that is such a beautiful experience. Even just, I pay when I do a custom video, I charge $20 for the consultation. I put that towards the cost of supplies or whatever at the final total of whatever we decide for the video. But even during that consultation, the intimacy of you telling me like what you're thinking about, like what turns you on.
Right.
You not having to feel shame if you're into me popping balloons. Like you not having to feel shame if, you feel like you're not well endowed and you want to see that representation with what I make. Anything, you guys. And
Yeah.
us as providers, we're here for you.
This
We're
goes
here.
alongside the relationship you would have with your hairstylist, with your therapist, with your chiropractor or your physical therapist, somebody who is going to satisfy your needs. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, there's the fan aspect of it. And hey, you ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money. I'm not telling guys how to spend their money. But hey, if you like the chick and you're searching her name, this many times, hey, cop you a $10 mini vids video. Cop you a $5 mini vids video. Cop you a 15, buy a $15 and that's yours. That's yours. You ain't even gotta go drive to the porno store anymore. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, back
Um,
back
pull
in
up,
our days, the gas
yeah,
stations had a little curtain that you pulled
pull
back.
no, and pull up to that's back in your day, hun. Pull up to sorry.
What'd
Pull
you
up
say?
to I said that's back in your day, hun. Sorry. Yeah, sorry I got reverb. I don't know what to do about it. Oh, the man himself, Brandon. But yeah, pull up to a gas station. No, not a gas station. Pull up to a convention like an Exotica or something like that. Go see a chick at one of your favorite creators at her table. Buy a DVD. Have her autograph the DVD. Film yourself smacking her on the ass with it if she's okay with that. And that is your memory of it, and that's how you can support this industry.
Yeah, it was in Dylan's day too. Don't let him try to act like he's young. I was definitely old enough to drink back when porno DVDs were still available in the gas station. My
I'm all
hometown,
off
Walla
the
Walla,
internet, but
Washington.
if you do go back
Apex.
to my interview with Ash Lauren and Brianna Kahlo, my first time seeing pornography was from a DVD.
My first time was I raided my parents' stash, and it was fucking VHS world, guys. And like, they had this one, and it was about the premise of the story because storyline shit that was like big back when you had to fucking VHS it up. So this lady, she was schizophrenic, and she had these personalities. I think it was called personalities. And like she was fucking the therapist, she was fucking her husband. Her and her therapist were fucking the husband, and but she was a lot of different ladies, and that shit, I was like, what? It's the first time I ever saw someone squirt. I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I just remember when I was at a friend's house and no adults were home, and we found these DVDs on the shelf, popped them in the Xbox, had it on the big screen TV, like, this is what sex is?
I had a friend. I had a friend that
Hey,
would
we could
come.
do story time all night, but I do actually need to get going. We can share that totally another time on live.
Nope, never
Um,
again on my
nope.
OnlyFans or nothing.
Hey, I like the sound of that, guys. More inside with Foxy. I think I might have to, start adding content to my OnlyFans so we can tag one another. Continue that conversation.
That is a fucking great idea. Like a but after dark,
Yes, yeah.
where you
Beatbox
guys
after
can
dark.
see my slideshow.
Yeah.
All right.
See,
Well, it's a wrap.
all right.
Beatbox episode 9.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you
Yes.
next week. Everybody,
Thank,
peace, love, palm, and
thank
we
you
want
guys.
thickness. Thank you.
Good night. Thanks to my
Good
hater
night.
for
Good night.
staying.
We love y'all.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.